Stinchfield, we continue our week-long investigation into a military gone woke this evening. And so right now, Team Biden is refusing to admit its quest to transform our military into an army of culture warriors, not combat fighters, is having a huge effect on our readiness as troops. What you may not know is that our armed forces are having a horrible time recruiting new members. There are multiple reasons for this, by the way, as our servicemen and women are forced to take gender and racial equality classes and learn about proper pronouns for transgender soldiers. And they also have to sign silly pledges. Yes, they are silly, vowing to be inclusive. The results are forcing many of our brave men and women in uniform to simply call it quits in big numbers. And now it's becoming nearly impossible to refill the ranks. Strong future warriors do not want to be part of a woke, weak military.
When the military allows the very insidious doctrines of critical race theory to seep into frontline training, it is very dangerous to unit cohesion and morale.
And he's backed up by service member after service member who all say the same thing. The reality is, inside our military today, the morale is being destroyed. So while China is building its ranks as we speak, ours is diminishing. The military needs to find 150,000 new recruits each year. Last year, the Army's goal of 61,000 new recruits was 20% below 2018 numbers. And as Biden pushes his Marxist woke agenda on soldiers, he limits the applicant pool even further. As it is, the Defense Department estimates that just 2% out of 20.6 million 17 to 21-year-olds in America, just 2% have the desired combination of a strong academic credentials, adequate physical fitness, and an interest in serving, which means the applicant pool is already diminished, and now it's even smaller. And think about where most new recruits come from. Southern and Western states. States that embrace traditional family values and core American principles. So being bombarded with a woke leftist agenda instead of training for battle has traditional recruits looking elsewhere. They have no desire to be part of Joe Biden's politically correct military.
The diversity of our nation makes us stronger, and that diversity in our military ranks makes us better at defending the American people.
That can be true as long as you're not trying to divide them amongst race, which is what critical race theory is actually doing. It's not unifying, it's dividing. So instead of backing away from social justice propaganda to actually boost recruitment, which is what would happen, the military is opting instead to relax its standards. This never works. During the height of the Iraq War, the military granted a whole bunch of waivers. It relaxed standards, allowing young men and women with a history of drug abuse, truancy, a whole bunch of other problems. Well, it allowed them all to enlist. The result? Higher attrition rates and increased disciplinary actions, lots of them. And an overall, of course, decline in the military's ability to fight a war. The bottom line is a woke military is a weak military. If Team Biden doesn't understand that, well, then they simply probably just don't care if they do. I believe that's probably the case here, which means they are fully willing to sacrifice safety and security, our safety and security, in favor of pandering to the radical left that would rather embrace China and Russia than fight back against them if we're forced to. Well, to help explain what all this means for us as a nation, I want to welcome in retired U.S. Marine Lieutenant Colonel and CEO of Fidelis Media that recently published the book, America's #1 Adversary and What We Must Do About It Now. Of course, I'm talking about Lieutenant Colonel Oliver Dorth. Colonel, it's great to see you.
Grant, it's always great to be with you. You know, just a little bit along the lines of what you were just talking about. And I'm going to say something that a lot of people criticize me for being outspoken. But President Biden and the left are now doing what no adversary has ever accomplished, the destruction of America's military. What's never happened from without is now happening from within. Our armed forces' ability to deter war and conduct military operations in defense of our nation is being undermined by those responsible for accomplishing the missions. Way back in 1986, I was on the NSC staff when Ronald Reagan signed into law the Goldwater-Nichols Department of Defense Reorganization Act, which requires that orders for operations come directly from the president through the Secretary of Defense to the operational field commanders. But the Joint Chiefs of Staff are responsible for providing those there's 11 unified commands. They're required to provide advice to the President of the United States and ensure that the policies, training, and readiness of our armed forces is up to snuff, up to what they need to be able to accomplish out there. By indoctrinating our soldiers, sailors, airmen, guardsmen, and Marines in this politically correct tripe, such as so-called critical race theory, systemic racism, and the white privilege in the military, because that's what they're calling it at the top levels of our government, the retention of junior and mid-grade officers, as you just pointed out, is dropping like a stone. Re-enlistments are down. Recruiters are now waiving standards once deemed to be very important, and yet the Joint Chiefs are going along to get along. In recent congressional testimony, the JCS chairman, General Mark Milley, was asked why U.S. military personnel are being required to learn critical race theory. His response from our most senior military officer was that he read books about Mayo and Marx and other enemies of freedom. Well, God, so did I, because we wanted to know more about our adversaries. There's two serious problems with the general's response. First, our troops are not learning critical race theory voluntarily. They're being forced to do so. Second, the critical race theory is not being offered as evidence of how our enemies think. It is being presented as what's wrong with our country. And members of our Congress should be asking every senior military officer how teaching critical race theory improves combat ability, preparedness, morale, or readiness to fight the communist Chinese that are very much part of what we need to be getting ready for.
Well, you know, Colonel, I read a recent piece that you had just wrote, and you did a great job. It wasn't so much calling about the ills of critical race theory, which you did a little of that too, but you made the case, does it improve our ability to win wars? Exactly what you said. Does it improve morale? Does it make us more combat ready? Clearly, the answer is no to both of those things.
Right on. And part of the problem is the idea of an esprit de corps, of readiness because you can count on the guy who's got your back. How can troops in combat know that their fellow warriors have their backs when they've been taught to distrust each other based on the basis of race? I've now asked tens of thousands of young Americans covering this long war why they volunteered to serve in uniform and go in harm's way if necessary. Nearly all of them gave virtually the same response. They joined, served, and risked life and limb because they love our country. For them, America means freedom and liberty and opportunity and self-determination, the very things you were speaking of in your open. These are principles that used to be encouraged throughout service. And now, thanks to President Biden and the top brass at the Pentagon, our troops are learning just the opposite.
Colonel, let me ask you, there may not be another Marine or a member of the military who is more committed to the commander-in-chief than you were under President Reagan. You were injured in battle, heck, in the military, and you were committed to him. You've got General Milley out there. Now, there are reports that he was quoted as saying that comparing Trump to Hitler, Trump supporters are like Nazi soldiers. We had General Kellogg on the program last night. He told General Milley, you better stay in your lane. What would you say to General Milley?
Well, I would tell him that in the United States Marine Corps, of which I was a part and still am, always faithful is our motto. To this very day, Semper Fidelis is more than a slogan. It's a way of life. It's always faithful. We were taught it meant always faithful to God, country, Corps, and each other. If you fast forward to the president, our troops are now being asked to be faithful to a leftist belief system that denies God, tears down our country, and undermines our military preparedness and makes service members distrustful of each other. And President Biden and his leftist puppet masters are doing great damage no foreign enemy has been ever able to achieve. Destroy our military. And sadly, they're being assisted by weak generals and admirals who are playing politics. It's time for them to go and for us to get back with it, because these guys over there are watching all this and taking account, and they realize they are getting ahead and we're dropping behind.
Well, that's been my warning all week, Colonel North.
You're spot on,
again,
buddy.
I appreciate you writing the book. I appreciate you coming on the program as always, my friend. Thank you. It's great to see you.
Always right to be with you. Semper Fi, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. All right. That's a guy you got to listen to. General Milley. You're a general. He may be a lieutenant colonel, but I'm telling you, you ought to take your orders from Colonel North because Colonel North is spot on.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.